So I'm out here working in my kitchen garden behind my garage where I've been growing some brassicas, and I thought I'd bring along and kind of show you some of the lessons that I've learned, some of the things that are growing. We also have some new additions on the farm, and the rooster wants to be in the video, so I'm just going to let him. But I thought I'd bring you along and kind of show you what I'm going to be working on. We also have been doing a big project right by the kitchen garden, and I'll give you a little bit of a view of where our time has been spent. My garden videos have been kind of sparse, but I'm hoping to bring you along and kind of show you things. I have had some technical issues, and I've just been plugging along with what God has put right in front of me and trying to steward what I have. And sometimes I just can't control you know, not being able to get things fixed with the camera right away, or the hard drive, or SD cards, or all the things. But I know that I can take care of what's in front of me, and that's kind of where I've been. So I'm going to show you my kitchen garden and some other things that we've been doing, and hopefully bring you along for the rest of the garden tours in the coming days. Our kitchen garden, it's behind our garage. As you come through, our big rose arbor has been doing so well. She has put out all her glory twice now, and we've deadheaded her again. So I've been trying to keep up on the Japanese beetles with DE, and just coming out here and, you know, pruning them back so you can actually walk through there. But yeah, this is the back part of our garden space. I know I've showed this in previous videos. Some new additions: we have a new rabbit hutch. We're going to put a rabbit hutch there, and we actually moved a rabbit hutch that we have right here. I'll have to bring you along and show you that once we get all the rabbits situated. So yeah, so my kitchen garden right now, we have pumpkins, different pumpkins planted along the cattle panels here. We built these little beds to kind of manage the soil better and manage the weeds better. We have that on both sides. Back here we have two kinds of raspberries and bindweed, which is like the evil sister of morning glory. So we've been trying to manage that, but I'm not too worried about it. My hope is to move our chicken coop on the other side of the house back here, completely enclose it behind the garage by winter time. So they will probably eat down those raspberries. I don't know, I've never had experience with having raspberries along a chicken run, so if you have had experience, let us know. We have these raspberries in other parts of the property, so I'm not too concerned about losing them. But that run will be completely enclosed with a fence and a roof, and so they'll be along that back. And I'm hoping they'll kill the bindweed root system by, you know, scratching and tearing up a lot of the bindweed that's back there. So we're just trying to manage what gets into our gardens and what makes it a little bit difficult to harvest, and the rest of it we'll let the chickens do the work. But there's my chickens. They wanted to say hi. You just want to say hi to everybody, huh? So we've moved some of these out of the way. They were over there. That was kind of where I had like a cold frame. I'm trying to get rid of those. And so we moved them over this way because we are working through this massive stick pile. This has been here for quite a while, and I think I might have showed it in a few other videos. I mean, it came all the way to here. You couldn't really walk this way, and you couldn't really walk this way, but sometime I'll show you kind of where we're putting all the sticks. But we have a mulcher, and we don't have a chainsaw currently, but we have a lot that needs cut down. So we're making a chainsaw pile like far in the orchard by the field on our property, so that way it's out of the garden space, and whenever we are able to do that, you know, we can go out there and have a chainsaw area where we can cut things and take our time and get through it. But we created this cute little entrance into our orchard from this back end of our property. I don't have anything planted in these crates. We just put crates and framed them out because, I mean, the wood pile came all the way to here less than a month ago, so I just knew that I couldn't manage it. And then over here we have a mulberry tree, and we're going to trim all this up and leave the big mulberry tree, but there's another little one growing. We're going to cut that one down. Let's try and clean all this up. So, but we've been moving sticks, and my hope is to get this cleaned up, and we'll lay some plastic down and you know, kill all the weeds, be able to have this as another garden space for next year. Here's the other part of our kitchen garden, our cattle panels, where we have some beds with some pumpkins growing. I have to come out here with some fish fertilizer. Their leaves are kind of yellow. And we have had rain about twice a week for the last couple of weeks. And it's been quite a bit of rain, but I just want to make sure that they're getting fed. So one thing I'm going to work on, oh, there's some bee balm. I got to harvest that soon. One thing I'm going to work on in here, and this is one of the lessons that I've learned. Well, the lettuce bed actually can be harvested and given to the chickens. Most of it is pretty bitter. I might cut the kale down and just leave that, see if it comes back through the winter, because I have two kinds of kale there. I do have some milkweed, common milkweed growing, and I'm going to let that go to seed. I love to plant that in some of my medicinal flower beds, just to kind of give the pollinators and the caterpillars a place to go. And then we have some thyme I need harvested, oregano needs harvested, they've all gone to seed. This is a strawberry bed that we really need to thin out a lot this fall. And then we have chives. We have like 4 plants of chives in there too. But this bed over here, and this bed over here, I have cabbage in. And I bought this, I forgot what it's called, but it goes over, your plants to help with the bugs and stuff. And I feel like they don't even last a month. Like, I have had so many rips and tears in these things. It is no joke. I feel like the birds and the squirrels are coming over here and just having a heyday. So I want to take these off and weed under them, and then my hope is to try and go to a fabric store and get tulle. Somebody said tulle is really good and it's a lot cheaper, and I was really hoping these would at least last through one season, and they haven't. You could tell there's another hole there, there's another hole here, and I actually have some of this double layered because I got holes within like the first 2 weeks I put them on, and so I'm thinking that tulle might hold up longer. But I'm going to take these off. I also need to get some taller hoops since the cabbages are getting bigger. I'm going to take these off and weed them. I'm probably going to put the tarps back on, see if I have any more scraps of them in the garden shed, just to cover up the holes that I have that are exposed until I can get some tulle, and also go and get some of the bendable PVC pipe so I can make taller hoops. And I am so happy after I pulled this off. We have broccoli for the first time on our homestead. Look how exciting is that? They're small heads. And the weeds aren't too terribly bad. Oh, so pretty. I'm so happy. We've never grown broccoli or cauliflower here. And I tried cabbages a few years ago and realized that the only way we can grow them on our property is to be covered, because they became laced with really quickly from the cabbage moth. So our broccoli is doing good. They're doing so good. I just love, I'm so excited. And then here's some purple cabbages. You can tell most of the weeds that I fight are these bindweed. They're starting to form really tiny heads. So I'm going to weed that. And then over here is our other row of cabbages. See, it looks so pretty uncovered. Again, we do have some crabgrass growing up in here, which will be easy to pull. And then some bindweed down at the end. The purple cabbages don't have many heads on them, but look at these babies. Look at those babies. Oh, I'm so happy. Guys, I have never grown cabbage here. I'm so excited. And I just love seeing how little they are. It reminds me of back in my day. My son would say it all the time. We had Cabbage Patch dolls. I have a little cabbage patch, y'all. I'm so excited. So I gotta come in here and weed the bindweed, get some of these other weeds up, and then, like I said, try and get that I don't think It's kind of like Agribond. I think that's what it is. But anyway, it wasn't cheap online. Well, it wasn't cheap for us. I think it was like $20 or $30 for a roll. And for it to just tear so easily, I feel like we gotta find another solution. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and weed these beautiful beds. They would just be so pretty if I could leave them uncovered, but in order to get cabbage, I've got to cover them, and broccoli and cauliflower, in hopes that the Lord can bless that and I can get a good harvest. Everything is cleaned up and tidied up. I think I'm going to give this broccoli maybe another week, check on it and see if I'm ready to harvest some of those. If this was the second harvest, I probably could harvest those shoots, but since they've not produced a head yet, I'm going to let these heads get a little bit bigger. I'm thinking that started shooting up probably because of the humidity we had. And then over here, I weeded this bed. I'm going to feed the lettuce to the rabbits tomorrow. And I've got to top dress this with some hay or some straw. But since this doesn't have a cover on it, I can do that tomorrow. But I did do a heavy layer of mulch on this bed, just to kind of keep the weeds down a little bit and to keep the moisture in. So, time to tuck all these back under their covers. And yeah, inside for a cold glass of sweet tea. Thanks, friends, for joining me for a little mini tour of my kitchen garden and what I have growing. Hope you have a lovely day. Can't wait to hear about what you're growing. And until next time.